Hello everybody, my name is Muhammad, and last week I wanted to play Wii Sports, but then I remember what happened the last week. You know, I should really throw away this copy of Shark Tale. It might spoil the other good movies. Let's see now. This is probably Shark Tale. Now I have no way to play motion-controlled tennis. What am I gonna do now? I got it! This will help my relevance. XaviXPort is a video game console developed by the Japanese company SSD Limited, and it came out in 2004. This console doesn't use regular controllers, and instead, each game has its own unique controller for that game. Now why is that? It's because this console is fitness-based, or more accurately sports-based, because that is most of the games on this console. Trust me, I did search the Wikipedia article, and there is no XAVX yoga games. I checked. This thing apparently sold for $79 when it ran off of cartridges and was released during the 6th generation of games. So guess what happened? You don't need to, I already have the answer, it failed. It got a permanent price cut to $19.99, and yeah, it still didn't do well. Nobody bought this thing, and the people that did are still selling theirs for please take it. So obviously I bought 3. If I were to describe this console, it would be the Wii before the Wii, since it uses motion controls. The difference is that the Wii was made by Nintendo and it had good games, while the XAVX is an SNES power-wise with a sensor built in and the ability to shake the controller. So I got nothing better to do, let's play some of these failed console games. It would be a really polite way to honor this dead console. So, which game should I play first? Now this one will do. So, XAVX Tennis. Like I said before, this console uses cartridges, so let's see how this will turn out. Let's try that again, shall we? Good thing I have a spare XAVX on hand. Oh, you guys thought I was joking about owning 3 XAVX ports? Dude, I'm the guy who owns 4 Wiis. Never doubt my ability to own stuff. So you know how every Wii game boots up with this little screen telling you to be aware of your surroundings? Well, XAVX has that too, but in the form of an Amber Alert. My god, imagine looking at this for a quick second. You probably would freak out thinking that something bad happened, only to realize that's just the company wanting you to put on the wrist strap so you don't destroy your TV. So XAVX Tennis. This game, get this, is tennis. When you boot it up, you're given a few options like training, options in the main mode, which I'll be doing. The main campaign seems to be versing against multiple people from multiple countries as you go up the ranks, but I'm too lazy to only do one. I guess it's time to pick who I should go up against. I think I'll go with Australia. Who knows, maybe they'll hold the racket wrong. Now the graphics aren't too bad. It's 16-bit, and may I remind you that the SNES and Sega Genesis had some great looking games, so this isn't bad. But let's get into the actual gameplay real quick. It's tennis, what is there to explain? However, let's real quick take a look at the controller. Like I said, the XAVX doesn't have regular controllers, but instead each game has its own specific controller made for that game, and this one happens to be a tennis racket. And this controller isn't so bad. It actually feels like a tennis racket, and the batteries you use to power it make the controller heavier, which is strangely better for it for some reason. It also has one button that you can use to click on buttons in-game, for something like push up, or like start, something like that. Now the motion controls aren't too bad. You swing the tennis racket, you hit the ball. However, this controller ain't that good, so you're able to waggle any part of the controller and hit no matter what. See? This game can be fun, however I swear to god these characters hit the ball way too fast. I'm basically always needing to swing the tennis racket so I can actually hit it. It doesn't help that sometimes you will hit it, however it'll just go out of bounds and then tie you both, or sometimes give the other player an advantage because you went out of bounds or something. It's very up and down. It's not too bad, but it's not too good at the same time. And there we go, Australia never stood a frickin' chance. And that was XAVX Tennis. It's a fine game overall, not too bad. Now there is a multiplayer mode, so I could try that out. Never mind, let's move on to boxing. So now let's move on to boxing, or more accurately, power boxing. Now that's a good thing because I only play fitness-based games with the word power on it. As I'm switching cartridges, I feel like I should tell you about this neat thing about this console. So you know how most cartridge-based systems usually freeze up, break, or stop working if you remove the cartridge while the console's still on? Well, XAVX actually doesn't freeze or break if it's still on and you remove cartridges. Instead, it goes into some kind of sleep mode, and you are able to still switch cartridges while the console's still on. This seems weird for me to mention, and even weirder why I like this or find it cool, but it really is cool, especially after playing on the DS for a while, and seeing Mario freeze up every time I remove New Super Mario Bros. DS to pop in some Smurfs too. So this game's controllers are boxing gloves because boxing. However, you don't actually need the batteries to make them work. In fact, these are just regular gloves with the only difference being the fact that you don't put your hands inside of them but instead on the side. Also, while tennis could get away with just minor motion controls, boxing requires much more accuracy with stuff like swinging hits from side to side, hitting, boxing, etc. So how will they make this work? Well, I don't know what adding a tumor to the cartridge could do. Actually, this is a camera used to track glove movement. Now, while this does track the glove's movement, keep in mind that these are just regular gloves with no electronics put into them. So you could probably use anything and they would still work, but I haven't tried that out yet, so I don't know for sure. Now, this game wasn't made by XAVX, but instead by Jackie Chan Studios Fitness. You guys know Jackie Chan, the guy who appeared in the Lego Ninjago movie and played an old man. Oh, and also appeared in these lame movies. Yeah, apparently he makes games, and while he doesn't show off very often, he does appear every once in a while to give you some words of wisdom. So clearly we're in the right hands, right? But now let's finally get onto the game. So one cool thing to know is how you can use the gloves to move a mouse on screen to click things, kinda like with the Wii remote. It actually no, it's pretty terrible. However, A for effort. Well, now let's go into the actual boxing portion. It isn't so bad. It reads your movements well, and there's little way of cheating in the game since it's using a camera to track you. However, there was this weird thing for me where the pause button kept showing up when I was playing. I don't know, maybe I punched this, maybe I did like a certain thing, or like I punched a certain way that made the game think that I wanted to pause it. But that did really ruin the flow for the game a lot. And the game not only doubles as a boxing game, but as a fitness game, where at the end of each playthrough it tells you how much weight you lost, because why not? Once again, the art style isn't bad, the characters you verse against are really well designed and pretty good for a 16-bit game. But I'll always prefer Super Punch for the SNES. Okay, so on to the next one. All I have is more tennis. Yeah, I don't really have any more games as of right now, but I feel like tennis and boxing filled me quite up. And who knows, maybe one day I'll make a sequel where I take a look at more XAVX games. I mean, I do have this volleyball controller, but no volleyball, so... This console, while not bad, it was obviously made for such a niche audience that it makes sense why it failed so hard. People just weren't into fitness-based games in the 2000s. Now, if you slapped Mario on it, then it'd be a completely different story.